The best hockey players in the world have this one thing in common. They're all fast. Speed is the unlock to getting around defenders, generating more offense, and creating a bigger impact on the ice. I've helped hundreds of hockey players around the world improve their speed, and in this video, I'm going to teach you the 5 secrets to building up your speed. Number 1 is the most overlooked aspect of being fast, and that's strength. Growing up, I was always a fast player, but it took me way too long to get up to speed, which ultimately held me back from making plays, generating offense, and separating myself on the ice. This led me to trying loads of speed exercises just to see no results, when in reality, I needed more strength. Stride power is simply how hard you can push and how fast you can push into the ice. I had lots of speed, but I didn't have a lot of strength. So here's 3 simple tips to improve your strength today. Number 1 is training movements over muscles. One of the most common mistakes I see players make is follow an unbalanced training program, which creates weaknesses in certain muscle groups. To fix this, focus on the foundational movement patterns. That'd be pushing, pulling, squatting, and hinging. These would be considered your main movements. Once these have been addressed, you can now work on the smaller muscle groups. Now the next thing is lowering your reps to 4 to 6. The main reason behind this is that you can load up the bar heavier and create a higher ceiling of strength for your power. Now the last thing is building steadily over time. This can come in the form of more reps, more weight, changing the tempo, or the rest. Which brings us into the next point. Building your power. Those first 3 strides that everyone talks about is a result from having adequate power. The biggest mistake I see players make is they take a handful of these power exercises, then repeat them for months on end. Then they're surprised that their stride power doesn't improve. The secret to stride power is progressing your exercises over time. And there's 4 different levels to doing this. Number 1 is control and stability. Here we're building the brakes. This will prep your joints so you're not only safe while you're training, but this will allow you to change direction faster and waste less energy while doing that. The next thing is max effort power through increasing height, distance, or weight. Think broad jumps, single hurdle jumps, or single effort weighted jumps. Now the next thing is power repeatability. Power means nothing if you can't repeat it all shift long. This can be done through double broad jumps, multi-hurdle jumps, or continuous loaded jumps. And lastly is change of direction. You see, hockey isn't played in a straight line. You need the ability to stop, start, and change direction to be effective in all situations on the ice. So you need to address this within your training, which brings us to the next point. To be fast, you need to train fast. In my typical off-season growing up, this would mainly consist of weight training and some power exercises. But I was missing this one crucial element. I wasn't sprinting enough. You see, speed has an expiration date of 5 to 8 days, meaning if you don't use it, you lose it, which means you need to be training fast or sprinting a minimum of 1 time per week. Next up is conditioning. Speed means nothing if you gas out before your shift ends. The best players on the ice have to handle more ice time. Their secret, a massive gas tank to back up their skills. But you don't build this through random interval training. You need a strategic approach to build your stamina. When it comes to building your conditioning, there's 3 main systems that go into this. Number 1 is the aerobic system, aka your energy generator. This will allow you to generate energy all game long and recover effectively between shifts. These type of intervals are typically longer in length and lower in intensity. Next up is the lactic system, or your gas tank. This allows you to push a harder pace for longer during your shifts and avoid that feeling of muscle fatigue. These intervals are done at max output between 50 to 90 seconds. And lastly is your alactic system, aka your turbo. This allows you to go from 0 to 100% in 10 seconds, but it takes a long time to recover. Intervals for the system is typically trained between 0 and 10 seconds and requiring full rest between sets. And this is all useless without the last point, which is putting everything together and creating a training plan by mapping out the next few months of your training. On a regular basis, I have players asking me for that one exercise or that one workout to get faster. Well, let me get this straight. You think you can fix years of speed issues with one workout? That's not how this works. Instead, do this. Split your training up into 3 to 6 week training blocks and dedicate time to building specific areas of your game. For my athletes, this looks like a foundation phase, a strength phase, and a power and speed phase. Each phase builds on the previous one, creating a progressive training system. Within the foundation phase, we're building foundational movements and utilizing slower tempos to build technique. Moving into the strength phase, we can then increase the load on the bar to increase your force output. And once you've done this, your body is primed to start moving faster in the power and speed phase. In this final phase, we don't focus on how heavy the weights are, but how fast the movements are done. By implementing each of these strategies within your training, you'll be able to get faster, stronger, and more conditioned on the ice. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe for more.